Hello chess friends! In this video we will continue with basic minor pieces endgames. But first, I would like to remind you to place the comment below my video on YouTube and to say maybe what would you like to see in some of my next chess lessons. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. In this lesson we will see endgames bishop and the pawn versus bishop. In this position here, we see that white's pawn is on c5 and wants to promote to a c8 square, while black king is far away behind the pawn. Here, white will force black bishop onto shorter and shorter diagonals, and finally, black's light-squared bishop will run out of room to maneuver. White will start with bishop c6. Now, bishop goes to e2, trying to go later to b5 square and still control c6. And now white will apply this maneuver which you see, bishop d5, bishop e6, bishop d7. So bishop d5, bishop b5, bishop e6. At this moment, black can use this free time to approach closer with his king, and he's playing king e3. And after bishop d7, now black must make some decision. Will he go immediately to a6 square, or maybe first go back to f1 and then later go back to a6? Let's see what is going on if bishop goes back to f1. Of course, white advances c6, king d4, c7, and now there is a promotion threat, so the only move is bishop a6. And now we will see how white wins this game, because black's bishop will run out of room for any maneuver. Simply king c6, threatening king b6 to trap the bishop or to force it to move back and then to promote. And after king e5, simply king b6. If bishop goes back, we just promote to a queen. The last trick for black now is to play king d6, and then we just play any move like bishop g4 and black resign the game, because this is a classical Zugzwang position. If king moves, we capture the bishop. If bishop moves, we simply promote to a queen. So this position here, with black's bishop on a6, is the position which shows how black's bishop controls promotion square from a short diagonal. Short diagonals are diagonals which have 3 or less squares. If in this critical position after bishop d7, bishop goes immediately to a6, then c6, king d4. And now it would not be so good to push the pawn to c7 immediately. If this happens, there will be no time for white king to approach to b6 square, because after king c4, king c6, there is bishop b5, and white king needs to go back and bishop goes back to a6. So this will be still winning position for white, but white will have some trouble winning the game. That is why, instead of immediate c7, excellent move is bishop e6, simply putting black in Zugzwang again. Black's bishop cannot move, and when he moves, for example, king c3, now white king uses different path to the b6 square, simply king c5, and then after c7, next move is king b6, and white wins because black is in Zugzwang again. So what is important to know about this position? That you always need to examine what is the promotion square. In this case, it is c8. And there are two diagonals to this c8 square. One is a6 c8, which has 3 squares, and that is short diagonal. The other diagonal is h3 c8, which has 6 squares, and that is long diagonal. If we have one short and one long, it is possible to win the game like this. If we have 2 long diagonals, in that case, it is not possible to win the game like this. This is our next position. It is also winning for white. First, we need to move black bishop off h6 square control, and after that to create Zugzwang position. Simply bishop g7, and after any move, just bishop h6. Now, there are several options for black. If he plays bishop c3 to control the longest diagonal, we easily win the game by placing our bishop on f6. After bishop g5, bishop d4, not immediately bishop f6, that would be a bad move, because then black will win the h5 pawn, but first h6, and after any move, either immediately h7 or bishop f6, both easily wins the game, white will easily promote. If after bishop h6 black plays bishop b4, then again the same, bishop g5, and after bishop f8 to control h6 diagonal, h6 f8 diagonal and h6 square from f8 square, simply bishop f6. And now black is in Zugzwang and white wins the game. If we would have the same position but white to move, it is easy to lose a tempo with the bishop, simply playing, let's say, first bishop e5 and then bishop d4 and then to play bishop f6, while black at the same time has only even number of squares to play. He must circulate along h4 and g4 squares, just at the same time always controlling and attacking the pawn on h5. That is why, even if in this position it is white on the move, white easily wins the game, but since it is black on the move, black is already in Zugzwang, and after king f4, simple bishop g7, and promotion cannot be stopped now. White easily promotes and wins the game. This is very interesting position, very similar to the previous one, just the pawn is on the 7th rank already and not on the 5th like in the previous position. This is an example of over-advanced pawn, and in this position the game will be drawn because there is no any legal way for white bishop to go to h8 and to force black's bishop to move away of this diagonal and to win the game. Simply playing something like bishop g9 and bishop h8 is not possible because we don't have g9 square on the board. So this endgame is easily drawn. Black will just keep his bishop on diagonal a1, h8, and white cannot make any progress. This is very interesting position. If it is white on the move here, white will just push h5, and that is the position which we already know. After pushing h5, white will just shift the bishop to h6 square, and the win is the same as in the previous examples. But if it is black on the move, he can use the fact that the pawn is already on h4, actually still on h4 and not on h5, and this position is drawn simply by constant attacking of the bishop. This bishop can never be captured because at that moment king captures the pawn and the game is drawn, and after bishop e7, bishop d6, bishop d8, bishop c7, all the time attacking the bishop. Of course, always when white captures the bishop, black just captures the pawn. And if bishop g5 and then bishop f4, simply if bishop takes bishop, we capture the pawn. If h5, we just capture the bishop, and the game is easily drawn. This is an interesting example in which we have opposite colored bishops. This game will be drawn if somehow black is able to control the promotion square a8. It looks like that it is simple, but it is not. White will of course play first move bishop f5, and now he wants to go to e4 and to control the promotion square. White has two moves to stop it, king e3 or king f3. If king e3 is played, now black cannot go to e4 immediately and control a8 square. He's playing bishop h3. And now he wants to go to g2 and then to control the promotion square. So white is playing king f3 to stop it. Now it looks like that there is no any chance to stop the pawn anymore, but look what a nice maneuver black has. Bishop f1 attacking the pawn of course goes to a7, but then excellent move bishop c4. using the fact that white's king is also on the same diagonal, and when white promotes, bishop d5 draws the game immediately. If in the starting position after bishop f5, white king plays king f3, now bishop h3 would be too slow. Now, for example, bishop d3 makes the draw on the same way. King d5, for example, would be a big mistake, because after a7, bishop e4 check, just king e3, and now look what an excellent situation. Complete Zugzwang. Wherever king moves, we just capture the bishop, and if bishop moves, we easily promote. But the winning move is, the move which draws the game is bishop d3, attacking the pawn, a7, and then the same idea, bishop c4, a8 queen, and bishop d5, the game is immediately drawn. And this is the last position for this lesson. This position will show to us how sometimes bishop and the pawn versus bishop can be very complicated endgames. If white would have his king on a8 and not on c8, it would be very easy win for white, because white will just need to shift the bishop to a7 and b8 squares, and his win would be piece of cake, because there is only one long diagonal for the other bishop to defend the promotion square. But since the king is on c8, black will try to stop white to put the bishop on a7. So after, for example, bishop h4, the best move for defense is king b5, and after bishop f2, black plays king a6, and now white cannot put his bishop on a7 and then to b8 and to easily win the game. And this is critical position in which it is not easy to find the winning move. There is only one winning move in this position, and that winning move is bishop c5, because bishop controls this d6 square. Why is that important? We will see first why some other move, let's say like bishop to e3, doesn't work in this position. The reason is that black plays this bishop d6 defense. And then we must try to put our bishop to c7 square, so bishop g5, king b5, bishop d8, king c6, and it is not possible to play bishop c7, and white has problems to win this game. Let's see now what is the difference if we in the same position play bishop to c5. So after bishop to c5, now black bishop cannot go to d6, can go, for example, to f4. And then we apply the same maneuver, trying to put our bishop on c7 square. So bishop e7, king b5, bishop d8, king c6, and now the point is that, of course, we cannot play bishop c7 again, but the trick is bishop g5 move. The trick is that we attack the bishop. Let's see what would happen if we would apply the same idea when black's bishop is on d6. So you remember the position in which after bishop d8, king c6, if we at that moment play this move bishop e7, the point is that when bishop goes somewhere back, white's dark squared bishop cannot go to c5 in order to reach a7 square, because king from c6 controls that square. That is why we must control d6 and try to put black's bishop anywhere else. So once again, let's see what happened after bishop c5, bishop f4, bishop e7, king b5, bishop d8, king c6, and bishop g5. The point is that a dark squared bishop for black cannot capture white's bishop, because then white promotes immediately. So wherever he moves the bishop, then we have tempo move bishop e3 and to reach a7 square on time before black is able to stop that. After bishop d6, let's say just bishop a7, and let's see now how white wins when he has his bishop on b8. Simply, wherever now bishop goes, let's say bishop d4, we just move our bishop somewhere, let's say f4 or g3 or h2, whatever, and after bishop a7 to deflect black's bishop, and he can't stop promotion anymore, and white wins. If you like this video chess lesson, please click on like, share or subscribe to my channel.